Hey guys, what's going on? Rebel Forged here, bringing you some Rush defense gameplay on new map Bandar Desert, part of the new Armored Kill DLC that was released on September 11th. And I wanted to talk a little bit about defending on Rush and how important it is to take down that AC 130. As we all know, people that played Rush, there's been a lot of complaints about it. Myself, I'm not a big fan of it in the Rush game, but it's not going anywhere. They might fix a couple of things about it. So, in the meantime, we kind of have to learn how to deal with it and what's the best way to address the situation. I guess you would say. Now, myself, uh, if I'm playing by myself, I'll usually run with a Stinger or the Igla, just because I'm not in communication with my team, so I'm not sure who's running the Iglas. So I need to, make sure that someone is taking care of it, and I'll usually try to pay attention to see how many people are trying to shoot it down, how many people are not. So I always start off with the Igla myself. Uh, Kind of a big fail here. I forced the guy to jump out of his tank, and I spent too much time trying to repair it instead of just hopping into it. But oh well, back to the AC 130. Um, One thing that I kind of think would be a good way to defend against it. One good thing that you need to have a good pilot. I think it's very important to have a good pilot that can lay down a lot of fire on the AC 130. If you're not a good pilot like myself, stay away from it. Basically, let somebody else that knows how to fly a jet take care of that aspect of it. And if you're going to have a very good jet pilot, if you can have one or two people running the Stinger or the Igla, then you won't have a lot of trouble with the AC 130. I mean, it's still going to be a factor in the game, obviously, but and depending on who is in the gunship, how good they are at using the main cannons and the guns and defending from the from your aircraft. I find a lot of people tend to focus more on trying to get kills with it, so they kind of forget about defending from the defender's jet. So a lot of the time the jet can swoop in, lay down a lot of fire, take a lot of damage on it. The AC 130 it can't take a lot of damage, so it does go down kind of easy. But because of its firepower, it's effective that way into getting kills. And I find most people tend to focus more on killing than defending on what they have. So if they are doing that, it's a big advantage for the defenders to be able to take it out faster. Um, Thankfully, a lot of the mindset of people, they think kills more than anything, and they don't think protecting what they have and how important it is to have for the attacker side. It's a big if you have two people in that gunship that know what they're doing, that they're defending their gunship, and they're laying down effective fire. It's going to make for a rough game for the defenders. So obviously, like any online multiplayer game, it all depends on the players and how they play. But for me, for defending, I find the best way to do it is good pilot. One or two people will run in the Iglas, because obviously the attackers still have some more armor at their disposal. So if you have everybody running an Igla, the tanks are going to roll in, the Amtrak's going to roll in, and they're going to do a lot of damage really fast and start taking bases. They took the first base pretty quick. We're doing a pretty good job defending on the second base. I think we get them down to 2 tickets left, and then they're able to control the area and take that BM and unfortunately we got pushed back to the third one. So a little frustrating being that close to the win, especially on the second NCOM stations. But now what are you gonna do? So basically, a lot of people, they really don't like the AC 130, but there's simple things that you can do that can help control it. There could be some hot fixes for it coming up. There is talk about it. Myself, I find it very hard to get into a Rush server on the PC. I don't know if it's just because people don't want to play it because they don't want to deal with the AC 130 or whatever it may be. But luckily this morning I was able to find a couple of servers that were actually running Rush, because like I said before, Rush is my favorite game type. I don't want to give up on it. Conquests with these new maps, it can be really good, really exciting, or extremely boring. I had a game last night that was just, I don't know, it just kept going on forever, and there was not really much going on, and it got very boring. But at least with a Rush, you know, there's a focal point, so it allows for more action. I find myself, and love taking out those end tracks with the repair tool. So yeah, and some of the hotfixes people have been talking about is the respawn time of the AC-130. I do believe it's around 90 seconds before it respawns again after it's destroyed, which is extremely fast. So basically you generally have, you know, your gunship is up in the air all the time. You know, it doesn't give the defenders a lot of time to set a good defense and organize something, but if they extended that respawn time, I think that would make a big difference in the game. And I'm not talking something crazy. Like 5 minutes would probably be a little too long. Some people talked about only one AC-130 per set of MCOMs. That really wouldn't make much of a difference in the game, or it wouldn't make the AC-130 that effective. I mean, if you run a proper defense, you take it out, it's done with. But, you know, something they're looking at. I was thinking, you know, if it was somewhere around maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 minute, you know, spawn, maybe that would be okay. Because, you know, some people just, they refuse to play it, they want it out of the game, but it's not going to happen. It's in the game. It's going to stay in the game. I think some minor adjustments will make it fine to deal with. I do like having it in the game, because it leads to a different aspect. Normally on Rush games, when I'm defending, I like to stay in front of the MCOMs and set up a good defense that way. But, you know, every once in a while, depending on where the AC-130 is, because it's a spawn point as well, people are dropping in behind you. So it is good to have a few people behind the MCOMs, but if you have too many, it allows the tanks to roll in too fast and control the area too quickly. So, you know, Rush now is it's very key to pay attention to the balance of it and the balance on how you defend. So, you know, you need to spread out on your flanks. You need to push ahead of the MCOMs. You need to have a couple people focused on the AC-130. And when I played this on console, it made it a little difficult just because of the max player being 24. This was a 32-man server, so it was a little bit better. You got a few extra people. Some people have been playing 64-man. I haven't actually been able to find a 64-man server yet. Strangely enough, I thought it would be very popular, and it would be a lot easier to defend against that AC-130 because you would have a lot of people left to defend the MCOMs and push forward on the MCOMs. So. But a 32-man, it's a nice balance. 32 or 48 would be kind of... 48, I never got a chance to play yet, would be kind of interesting. And the gun, I haven't mentioned the gun I'm using yet, the A91. I just started using this. I never really used it that much, even though a lot of people said it, you know, it was a good gun and they love that gun. I just started using it, and for these big maps, for engineer class, it's a great gun. I mean, it does good damage at a good range. Not a lot of recoil. You know, it's it's manageable, and I've been loving this gun so far. Normally I use the G36C, but it doesn't have much range at all. So I found the A91 has a little extra range, and it's been very effective for me lately for these large maps. So that's the end of the game there. We're able to stop them on the third MCOMs. My team did a great job defending, and hopefully, you know, you guys have a few tips on how to defend. You found your own kind of way to be effective. Perhaps leave some comments and let me know how you guys like to address the situation. And thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate, or subscribe to the channel. I love having feedback from people, so don't forget to leave those comments. Alright guys, I'll talk to you later. See ya.